Hello YouTube, this is Charlie426 and today we have the review of the Master Grade Nemo from Zeta Gundam. Now this was the main grunt suit from the Zeta Gundam series, or to be precise, this was one of the main grunt suits that the AEUG used. Now the background story is pretty interesting because the AEUG usually use mobile suits that was like remaining of the Federation, or they usually steal from the Titans, and so they wanted to actually have their own mobile suit or mass production type mobile suit to fight against the Titans. So they requested this to the Anaheim Electronics, and this is what they made. And the Nemo is one of the successful mass production types because it's the efficiency is pretty good, and the production fee is also pretty good, and it's capable of using other weapons from other mobile suits, so that's a pretty good thing. Now first, what you get of course is the Master Grade Nemo itself. You get one beam rifle. Now the hand, it's technically holding it, so I don't want to take it out because it's kind of tricky to get it back in, because you need to put one finger onto the trigger hand. But you get your typical standard simple mass production type beam rifle, and what you also get is a shield, which is a foldable shield, which I will get into later. You get two beam saber Hilton effects in green, but I was always confused because I always thought the beam sabers were yellow, but apparently they're green. And you get some decals. You get the normal decals for like details, and you get the dry transfer decals as well. As you can see, this kit does not come with any stickers, so that is a very interesting fact. So, as once again, there were no stickers, but the only thing I use are the dry transfers. I use the number 426 for my signature number here. I usually put it on the shoulders, but there wasn't much space to put it in, so that I went for the front skirt armor. Okay, now let's get into the review. Now, first of all, this kit is very basic. The build was very basic, so there's no difficulty in building it. But once again, they did a very good job in the color separation, and I will get into that. Basically, I'm gonna compare the difference between the high grade, because I have a high grade Nemo. So yeah. So let's start with the head. Now once again, I have the desert type Nemo, which is pretty good, but the main problem was that there were just so many unnecessary stickers. Okay, let's start with the head. Now the head is pretty basic. I really love the orange visor, because some GMs or some other variants of the GMs, when you buy the actual Master Grade, they usually come in clear, but this one actually comes in clear orange, and that's a very good thing. And the top thing on the head, that's also a separate piece. In the high grade version, you would have to put a sticker here, which is not too pleasant. And you only get one antenna, and the antenna is plastic. Some Master Grade GM's antennas, they come with two types. One is a plastic, one is a rubber material, but this one only comes with one, and it's plastic, so be careful. I wish they would put an extra one, because some of them they actually put two of the same thing. The head is pretty basic. It can go down that much, and then can go pretty much that, and then 360 is no problem at all. And you can see the details where, you know, they have the Vulcans, and you can see the inside. There's some details they can go, if you want to, like, if you like panel lining, you can also do that as well. Okay, now we will get into the body. The body is pretty simple. Now this kit, I believe, came out after the 2.0 series, or the 2.0 technology was, you know, completed. So this was technically built on a 2.0 technology. So this kit is going to be difficult to see a 2.0 version of this one. Now the body, pretty simple. Despite also the structure of this kit, or the frame, basically there is an inner frame, but I can't show you because I can't take off the armor parts somehow. I mean, they are all stiff, and I do not want to risk anything to break, because this is one of my favorite mobile suits out there as well. But I guess this was the early type, so the inner frame, where when you build new Master Grades these days, you get a lot of multiple small pieces to build up an inner frame. This one has a lot of large parts for the inner frame, so it's pretty simple build. The body is pretty simple, nothing too special. Once again, if you bought the high grade, this red section here would be a sticker. And the cockpit opens up pretty easily. You can open this down hatch, and then you just need to lift it up, and you can see they give you a yellow pilot. You get another pilot, but a normal generic pilot just standing. So if you're interested in those kind of stuff, I don't mind. The arms, once again, very simple. Oh, I forgot also, you do get this shield connector for the shield and for the arm, and each arms have these holes to connect these. No need to worry about that. And it has a double bend, typical for a master grade these days. And then, yeah, double bend actually. And then 360, no problem at all, because there's nothing too special on the backpack. And then you can go to the side, pretty much. Very good articulation as well, and twisting your usual thing is no problem at all. One more thing I forgot to mention is that the hands, a lot of new beginners who are not familiar with master grades were asking this, the way how the hands work. Now they're not the same hands are the RG, but it's your really standard master grade hand where you have the 3 fingers and the trigger finger and the thumb that moves individually. There's no joints for each section for the fingers, but yeah, you can move the overall fingers. Now some kits do come with individually articulated fingers, but I'm not a big fan of those. Now if you bought the high grade and if you bought the other colors, not the Zeta Gundam colors, but if you bought other colors like the UC or the desert color, these parts would be in stickers as well. And once again, I'm sorry for the sniffing. It's pretty cold in Korea and my body is still getting used to the temperature, so I'm very sorry. But that's how it is. Now, before I go to the other parts, let me show the backpack. Well, the backpack, there's nothing too special. It looks very generic. All these red sections here for the thrusters, those are all separate pieces, so I am very amazed how they pull those off. And you have this section here where you can store the beam sabers. So I'm going to show only one beam saber as an example. Now, what you do is you get one, and then you just, you know what, let me adjust the camera. Okay, you just get one, and then you can't slide it because the end of the beam saber is a little bit wider, so you need to just do it sort of a manual way. So what you do is open these sections up, and then you just put it in there and you close it. And also, because of each end section, it has a different size. It won't slide out. It does move a little bit, but it's pretty. But it doesn't like move terribly. So it's a pretty firm connection. Now that beam rifle is giving me some problems, but nothing too serious. Okay, the waist section. Once again, you have some front and back and side skirt armor. You know what? I'll just take off the beam rifle because I need to show this as well. Now the front skirt armor goes, pretty much because it's on a ball joint a lot. The side a lot as well. The back skirt, no movement at all. It's just one piece. So because of this, you can go pretty much a lot, 90 degrees, and then technically it is a double joint, but because of the design here, you can't. It's not a big bend as you think. And also you have these holes for each side skirt armor. What you can do is you have the beam rifle, and you can just attach it here and cling it on if you don't want to make it hold it. And that is a very good detail, in my opinion. I'm just gonna take it out. And the legs, one more thing, these thrusters, you can actually move them. Basically you can do this, which is a pretty good detail. And if you can see the foot or feet, you see some pistons going on there. They put a quite amount of detail into the kit, despite it's a grunt suit, and I really like this concept as well. Now, one thing, I'm not sure if I was unlucky or if I got a master without the stickers, but the back head, now usually this is a part where you put the stickers in for the camera, but yeah, I didn't see any of those, so who knows. Same for the beam rifle. Usually you would get a sticker for the camera, no sticker at all. So maybe it doesn't come with a sticker at all, or I just got a master grade that forgot to have a sticker, so who knows. Now we've seen all the basics of the kit. There's nothing too special, but it's a very basic kit, but sometimes basics or simple is the best. It doesn't always have to be a complicated kit with a complex structure with a bunch of weapons dangling around. Sometimes simple is the best, So yeah, I'm the kind of guy who doesn't really favor a mobile suit that has so many complex parts with a bunch of weapons dangling on with a lot of accessories. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of those. Oh, once again, sorry for the sniffing. Now we've seen the basic articulation. It's a very basic kit and very basic build, so this is really recommendable for beginners. Now for the accessories, once again, you have the shield connector here on the arm. You got the shield, a pretty long shield than you think. It's almost tall as the kit. And another cool feature of this shield is you can fold the shield up. So they have multiple pegs. You just take that out and then you just push it down and you have the folded version of the shield. Once again, there's no stickers here as well, and they did a pretty good job on the color separation. Now you can attach it anyway, but I'm gonna open this up because the folded version kind of does look awkward for me. So here we go. Now the shield, you have two options to either connect it on the side or on the back. So I usually, personally, for my high grade, I did it on the back. This time I think I'll go with the side. Now the side, it's a pretty firm connection. Unlike a peg, you just need to slide it in there and you will hear a click noise. So it's a firm connection, nothing is falling off. To be honest, this kit has nothing falling off. There's nothing loose, but everything is very stiff. No. But while taking the pictures of this kit, I did find not a flaw, but how should I say it, some limitations in the articulation. Now, usually when you get a master grade, now this section here, let me zoom in. Now, usually you would get a separate piece to build this section here, where you usually connect the waist and the leg. Now, but they don't give you a separate piece, so this entire section here is one single piece. So there's not much articulation that you can twist the leg itself. So while I was taking pictures, there was some difficulty on doing certain poses, but it's not as bad as you think. And yeah, once again, basic kit, but who knows. Okay, we've seen the shield. Now let's go on to the weapons. Before I actually go to the weapons, the kit itself, it's a very balanced kit. The feet is pretty wide and flat, so there's no balance issues at all. These are one of the kits that you don't really need an action base as well. But if you do have an action base, I assume that you can pull off a lot of cool poses, because the way how the legs are connected, or the pegs for the waist, they are on a hinge system, so you can move the legs together like that. Oh, I almost forgot to mention the movement of the body. You can go front a little bit, back a little bit, side to side a little bit. So it has the basic articulation. The weapons, I think I will go with the beam saber. Once again, a very long beam saber. Problem is, on the hand there is a peg. There's a peg over here. However, there's no hole for the beam saber. I wish they would have put a hole for the peg, but so the problem is that while holding the beam saber, the hand itself has a pretty strong grip, but because of the having no hole, it might look awkward. It might have that shaky feeling, and it might slide off a little bit. So that's one downside. But I'm not a big fan of beam sabers itself, so I'm not sure I'm gonna have much problems with this. I barely display my kits or use the beam sabers anyway. Now the beam rifle, once again, pretty simple, and you can also move this. I think this is supposed to be a handle. I almost forgot. I almost mistaken it for like an ammo clip, but no, I believe these are handles. Now the beam rifle has a small hole here, and you can connect the peg here. However, this has a trigger, and so for me this is kind of tricky. I always have problems for these kind of kits, but it's manageable. I did it multiple times, so the hole in the peg might get a little bit weaker. So yeah, that's the one downside for these kind of kits. The more often you move the beam rifle from its hand, it will get loose or weaker. That's why I do prefer the way how the Master Grade Jesta did it, where they actually have a hole in the beam rifle, and then you have a really long peg that goes through the hole, so it has a firm connection. But once again, it's not a terrible connection. Once you have it, you won't have much issues with it. So yeah, that's it. We had the review of the Master Grade Nemo. from Zeta Gundam. Once again, I really like this kit because it's overall simple, but it had a fun build, and there's no stickers that you need to worry about. So yeah, I would recommend this for anybody out there. Anybody who's trying to get into Master Grade, anybody who's a beginner will have fun building this Master Grade. It's even cheaper than the Master Grade GM 2.0, and so you won't have any problems, to be honest. It's a very simple basic build, so if you can build this, yeah, I would say this is the main basic of the basic for Master Grade. So if you can build this, you can build anything. Anyway, so that's it. Thank you for watching the Master Grade Nemo review. If you have any questions or requests, leave a comment below. If I got anything wrong, also leave a comment below to let me know. I still have more kits to buy and build and make reviews out, so please stay tuned. And if you found this video enjoyable or informative, please like my videos and also subscribe to my channel. Until then, see you guys next time.